The fantasy football playoffs are finally here, so it's extra important that you roll out your very best lineup on Sunday. NESN.com fantasy football analyst Darren Hartwell is here, and he's going to talk about some of the best matchups for fantasy owners and some of the NFL matchups to avoid. So, Darren, this week, what is your best matchup that could be the best thing for fantasy owners?
I'm looking at Saints-Bears, the Monday night game. The Bears' defense has pretty much been awful all season. That could mean a huge bounce-back game for Drew Brees and all of his weapons who kind of struggled last game. On the other end of the ball, the Saints have given up 30 points in 3 straight games. That could bode well for all the Bears' weapons, Matt Forte, Alshon Jeffrey, maybe even Jay Cutler. I think it looks good for both sides. If you have a player on your roster on either of those teams, I think it's a pretty safe bet.
And which matchup would you avoid this week?
I think it's got to be the 49ers and the Seahawks. It's in Seattle. The two teams played on Thanksgiving. They combined for just 22 points. Given that it's in Seattle, you could probably go with Marshawn Lynch, maybe Russell Wilson. Other than that, I would avoid everyone else.
And who is your best waiver wire pickup for the week?
I'm looking at Jonathan Stewart this week. He had a big week against the Saints, rushed for 155 yards and a touchdown. D'Angelo Williams was out of the lineup. If he's out again, I think Stewart could be in for big things. 2 of his last 3 games are against NFC South opponents. We all know the NFC South hasn't been too hot this season, so I would pick up him.
All right, well, if you are in your fantasy football playoffs, may the odds be ever in your favor, and make sure to bookmark and check out NESN.com/fantasyfootball.